So there are a lot of things that can go wrong when it comes to a wrestling career, especially in the ever-changing landscape of WWE. Well, today we've got a video from 7 Wrestling, that is WWE superstars who ruined their careers with one decision. Let's see what's going on with this. If you'd like to support the original creator of the content, which I highly recommend that you do, click the top link in the description. If you want to hang out with me and my beautiful flock here on Twitch and react to content live, well, you know where to find that link. I ain't gotta tell you. Unless I have to. It's the bottom. Click the bottom. Let's do it.
Sometimes all it takes is a single moment to skyrocket a wrestler from mid-card obscurity to instant stardom. And no one knows that better than Stone Cold Steve Austin. One profanity-laden rant at the 1996 King of the Ring, where he spat out the now iconic phrase, Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass," transformed him from just another brawler into the beer-chugging, authority-defying legend that we know today.
To be fair, though, that was a bar. Like that was hard. Yeah, like I think everyone is allowed to say that's a bar. That's cool shit.
Becky Lynch hit the next level when Nia Jax accidentally broke her face, leaving her bloodied but victorious, instantly turning her into the badass fan favorite that the WWE simply couldn't ignore. Sometimes one perfect moment is all it takes to go from just another wrestler to an undisputed legend. And on the other hand,
I think Slick put that match where Cody worked through the pec injury in for the Flockfest, which is dope. If you haven't seen those on Patreon, go ahead. It's free content, but we're checking out full matches. Go ahead.
I'm Singer Siete for 7 Wrestling. Let's take a look at 7 decisions that wrecked wrestlers' careers. Now, before we get into this, we appreciate your support, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and add a to adjust that notification bell. Also, we've got merch. Show the world that you're a part of the brotherhood, even if you're a sister, with some of our snazzy apparel, stickers, and other business. Number 1, People's Chump. Diamond Dallas Page's rise to the top of WCW was nothing short of remarkable, especially considering he didn't start wrestling until his mid-30s. Originally debuting as a flamboyant manager in the late 1980s, DDP was best known for guiding tag teams like the Freebirds rather than stepping into the ring himself. However, driven by an insatiable desire to prove himself, Page began training as a wrestler at the age of 35, a point in life when most athletes are winding down their careers. Despite his late start, DDP's dedication to self-improvement and his relentless work ethic led him to slowly but steadily climb the ranks within WCW. The culmination of DDP's hard work came in 1999 when at the age of 43, he captured the WCW World title by defeating Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and Sting in a 4 corners match at Spring Stampede. The victory solidified Page as a main event player, proving that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Page managed to stay a top WCW talent up until the company being purchased in 2001 by the WWE. With the purchase came the contracts of many lower card talents, but if the WWE wanted to work with the top stars, the wrestlers would have to accept a buyout for less money, then negotiate a new contract with the WWE. Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Goldberg, Scott Steiner, nearly every top name made the decision to stay at home and collect a paycheck, but one top name forfeited the free money and jumped immediately because he wanted to be a part of the WCW invasion of WWE, which would surely be the biggest angle of all time. That person was Diamond Dallas Page. Surely, DDP would carry his blue-collar, never-say-die charisma into the WWE and become an instant main eventer, right? Well, hold on to your yoga mats there, because this story does not have a happy ending. Instead of arriving as the self-made people's champ that fans had come to love, his grand debut as a creepy stalker obsessed with The Undertaker's wife, Sarah. Yeah.
They did bro dirty. Like, they did bro the dirtiest.
You heard that right. The man who once took down the NWO and WCW is now relegated to the role of
Rob
a
Zombie had a
leather-clad
film with
peeping
DDP?
Tom. Apparently,
Well,
nobody in WWE's creative team saw anything odd about turning a beloved underdog into a basement-dwelling creep. The crowd didn't buy it, and neither did The Undertaker, who promptly pummeled DDP into irrelevance in a series of one-sided beatdowns. Got so bad that The Undertaker's wife actually received a pinfall victory over Paige on an episode of Raw. But it wasn't over there. Oh no, WWE doubled down by
nah, they
turning
did
Paige
both
into a
dirty.
grinning motivational speaker,
Just
spreading
both so
positivity while
dirty.
wearing disturbingly white teeth that could double as a bar of soap. This wasn't the hard-nosed, diamond-cutting DDP that had fans rallying behind him in WCW. Instead, it was as if the company decided to take everything that made him unique and swap it out for a corny self-help guru who lost every match that mattered. Fortunately, DDP would eventually find his way to redemption through yoga and being the saving grace for many of wrestling's
What
most
the
troubled
hell? You don't
superstars.
put that like...
But yeah, taking the deal to jump to WWE early was definitely a mistake. No good deed goes unpunished, and this Diamond's time in WWE was certainly flawed. Number 2, a career dunked. Once known for his charisma and slick-talking persona, Abraham Washington found himself on the fast track to success in WWE, managing the primetime players and even hosting his own talk show, but he made one fatal error, assuming he had the same leeway as the company's bigger names. It all went down on the July 30th, 2012 episode of Monday Night Raw. While performing ringside commentary during a match, Washington decided to compare Titus O'Neil to Kobe Bryant, quipping that O'Neil was like Kobe Bryant in a hotel in Colorado. He's unstoppable.
Oh, I do think I heard about this in passing before. That's... No. Well, why did you say that? Yikes. Yikes. That's not even a joke you could make outside of that era. Why would you say that?
This, of course, was a direct reference to Lakers legend Kobe Bryant's 2003 legal case. Crowd reacted with a mix of shock and discomfort.
Yeah, that's
wasted
a bad
no
look.
time issuing an apology. Commentary immediately backtracked, and Washington tried to do some damage control on Twitter, but it was too late. Just 11 days later, WWE cut ties with him altogether. After his release, Washington aired his grievances online, calling out WWE for what he saw as hypocrisy. He argued that he didn't mean any harm and that the punishment did not fit the crime. And he wasn't exactly wrong. Plenty of main eventers had crossed lines before without getting pink slips. But when you're a lower-tier talent, you don't have the same room to screw up. The whole debacle serves as a reminder that in the WWE, if you're not already a made man, one bad joke can make you a punchline. Number 3, dive bar. I've often heard that if you want to make it to the WWE, you don't have to have a million different flashy moves. You only need 5 moves that you can do perfectly every time on any opponent. Now, this serves 2 purposes. First of all, it shows the company that you're capable of putting on a safe, good-looking match. And second, so you don't screw up horribly on national TV. Now, botches happen. That's the way of the world. Hulk Hogan attempted to scorch the Ultimate Warrior with a fireball during Halloween Havoc. Little spark was the result. Batista looked less than graceful during his entrance for a match against Triple H. Heck, during the climactic finish of the main event of friggin' WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar knocked himself silly with the shooting star self-pile driver. Those were established guys. They had years of awesome moments to fall back on. When you're a newbie, you blow a big spot on TV, it's gonna stick with you. Such was the case when on the December 16th, 2022 episode of WWE SmackDown, AJ Francis, then performing as Top Dollar, attempted a plancha over the top rope during a triple threat tag match. Unfortunately, he failed to clear the ropes, resulting in a back-first crash onto the apron instead of his intended opponents. And fun fact, it's a little more fun to watch this while someone poorly sings a Superman theme. Check it out. Botch move quickly went viral, earning him the nickname Flop Dollar and becoming fodder for on-air jokes, particularly from commentator Michael Cole. Now, while this certainly hurt his career, as it is usually the first thing people tend to think about when his name comes up, This career low point actually turned into a life-saving incident. Francis later revealed that the failed dive prompted him to seek medical attention, leading to a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes with a dangerously high blood sugar level of 626. He credited the botch with
Whoa.
saving his life, stating, "I almost lost my life and was about to lose both feet. The botch saved my life." Since then, Francis has managed his condition with proper medication and has returned to wrestling, fully
think it is.
embracing the moment that unexpectedly became a turning point in his life.
Good on him for stopping the whole amputation thing with diabetes, man. That's a spooky one. I don't know how the two are related. Like they decided like he was feeling out of it, was going for the jump word, but hey, the fact that he was able to get out and turn things around. W. We're gonna call him Wap Dollar from now on. Phil Wap Dollar.
Number 4, J.E. Double Doe. During the height of the Attitude Era, when Steve Austin was making more money off of t-shirts and some wrestlers had made it their entire careers, there was one guy who decided to take a moral stand: Jeff Jarrett. You see, Austin's iconic Austin 316 shirts, which were born from his legendary King of the Ring promo that we discussed earlier, were flying off the shelves like hotcakes. Wait, that seems like a mixed metaphor. Jarrett, he wasn't a fan. Why? Because he thought utilizing the term 316 was blasphemous. Yes, in a company where characters tried to embalm each other alive and gave birth to hands, the real problem was Austin's slogan. Jarrett didn't just grumble about it backstage either. No. He cut a promo live on Monday Night Raw, condemning Austin's famous phrase and essentially labeling it as an affront to religion. Now, you can imagine how well that went over with the Rattlesnake, who wasn't exactly known for liking when people tried to mess with his paycheck. During a blog post on his website, WWE writer and master of subtlety Vince Russo would say, during his promo, he was just going to add in there a part about Austin's use of 316 and how blasphemy Jeff felt that phrase was. He was also going to accuse Steve of using the Bible reference as a tool to strictly make money. Jeff went out and cut his promo, adding his 316 thoughts, and Steve was on the other side of the curtain waiting for him. When he came back, Steve was freaking furious. I mean, his bald head was blood red. As soon as Jeff came to the back, Steve was verbally all over him, holding nothing back. He told Jeff that he was messing with his livelihood and that he didn't appreciate that. Jeff backpedaled like I've never seen anyone backpedal before or since. He was literally the heel backing off the baby, but this was not scripted. After the explosive tongue lashing, Steve tracked me down. He gave me clear instructions to never book him against that son of a bitch. So, when WWE pitched a feud between Austin and Jarrett, Austin didn't just say no, he flat out refused. As time went on, Jarrett remained stuck in mid-card purgatory, while Austin kept cashing in on every beer-soaked, middle-finger-waving moment. Now sure, Jarrett went on to have a pretty impressive career, but he never did get to main event at WWE pay-per-view or compete in a big match for the WWE title. Fortunately, that would be the last time Austin would ever. Number 5, Stone Cold shut down. Chyna was a trailblazer in professional wrestling, shattering the traditional gender barriers by competing against male superstars during the height of the Attitude Era. Known as the ninth wonder of the world, she became the first woman to enter the Royal Rumble, the first and only woman to ever win the Intercontinental title, and was a formidable presence in matches typically dominated by men. Chyna's willingness to go toe-to-toe with the likes of the Road Dogg, Chris Jericho, and Jeff Jarrett not only showcased her unmatched physicality, but also challenged outdated perceptions of women's roles in wrestling. Her groundbreaking achievements paved the way for future generations of female athletes to step out of their stereotypical diva mold and pursue equal footing with their male counterparts. However, seeing as this is a pretend sport, Chyna's rise was a bit of a perfect storm. You need to have the right performer who looked like she could compete with the men, you needed a booker who was ready to tell that story, and you needed the male performers who were willing to step into the ring with her and play along. Now, it's not fair to say that anyone who refused to wrestle Chyna did it for sexist reasons. Ken Shamrock, for example, wasn't comfortable having his kids see him beating up a woman. To this day, intergender wrestling is a hot topic with arguments on both sides of the issue. And as silly as it may sound today, the men who faced Chyna were facing somewhat of a risk, as earlier a male wrestler sold for a female wrestler and it greatly affected his career. Mark Mero's career took an unexpected downturn when his wife Sable started overshadowing him during their WWE run in the late 1990s. Originally presented as the charismatic wild
Damn.
man with a flashy athletic style, Mero soon found himself playing second fiddle to Sable's rising popularity. The moment that cemented his reputation as the guy who got outshined by his own valet came when he allowed himself to be powerbombed by Sable during an angle. Now, while the segment was meant to establish Sable as a strong, independent figure, it inadvertently portrayed Mero as weak, especially.
Yo, your career just smoked because you putting your girl over is crazy. Said, yo, nobody believe you a tough guy no more. She powerbombed you to hell, bro.
In the eyes of his fellow wrestlers.
Is this motherfucker wearing a do-rag? What is he wearing right now? I can't tell. It's like a silky to me.
One key figure who took issue with Mero's willingness to be overpowered by his much smaller spouse was none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin. As the WWE's top star and a purveyor of his tough guy persona, Austin reportedly saw Mero's decision as damaging to his credibility as a performer. In a business where perception and believability are crucial, Austin felt that if Mero was willing to sell for Sable, it would be hard to take him seriously in a match against someone as tough as the Texas Rattlesnake. So when Mero was pitched as a main event opponent during Austin's title run in the late 90s, Austin shot it down. As a result, Mero's stock within the company plummeted and he never quite recovered from the blow to his reputation, while Sable's career skyrocketed and became one of the biggest stars of the era. Number 6. Diva searching for a job. Amy Zidian's time on SmackDown was an absolute train wreck, like a swirling tornado of bubblegum lip gloss and glitter body spray. Plucked from the 2006 Diva search, Zidian didn't exactly have a stellar wrestling pedigree or a fan following, but she had something that WWE seemed to like. Good looks. You know, she was super hot. Unfortunately, as it turns out, that was about the only thing she brought to the table. Instead of making an impression in the ring as the corner person for Jimmy Wang Yang, Zidian made headlines for all the wrong reasons backstage. You'd think that getting a dream spot on SmackDown would be motivation enough to study up on who's who in the company, right? Nah, not for Amy. Case in point, she had no idea who Vickie Guerrero was. In a moment of pure obliviousness, Amy sarcastically questioned why Vickie was even a WWE diva, hinting at something about her look.
Oh. Yeah, see, they got you up out of there talking crazy. That needs to be a lesson to just shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You better shut the fuck up. Don't even joke about some shit like that with coworkers you think you're cool with. It will definitely run and tell, yo, by the way, this girl over here talking shit. Bang, you're done. Why would you do that? The one with, oh, see? If you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. First of all, this is definitely a fucking, like, a wrestling promotion. You don't know who got hands there. You might beat your little pretty ass up, you see? You fucking her out. That's,
And her weight, you know, because nothing says I belong here like body shaming a well-liked person who just so happens to be the widow of the beloved Eddie Guerrero. Well, that was strike one. During a TV segment Stephanie McMahon was producing for Amy and Jimmy Wang Yang, the boss's daughter gave Amy a few pointers, nothing crazy, just some helpful advice. But in a display of mind-blowing cluelessness, Amy reportedly fired back with attitude, basically asking who Stephanie thought she was to be giving advice.
oh. See, nah. She's like, yeah, and you are, like, and then Stephanie's just like, yo, yeah, it, Joe, have you not seen? Have you not seen me ever? Yeah, this shit is done here. I'd be scared of like a serious talking to from Steph. Like you definitely on like thin ice fucking around with Vicky, right? Like during that time especially. But talking greasy to Steph, yeah. You are barred.
Yes, that's right. She questioned the authority of the little heiress to the WWE empire. Stephanie likely caught somewhere between
No, her smile been killing me.
shock and amusement, calmly let Amy know exactly who she was, the daughter of Vince McMahon and part owner of the entire company. Amy's reaction, an eye roll, maybe she didn't believe it, or maybe it finally hit her that she'd probably just verbally suplexed herself out of a job. Either way, that was strike two. And there would be no strike three. She barely lasted a month before being shown the door, leaving behind a legacy of, well, not much, really. One
they
could
got
almost
you
admire
about.
the sheer efficiency with which she managed to squander an opportunity that thousands of hopefuls would have killed for. Well, almost. Number 7, Total NonStop Mallister. It is genuinely heartwarming to see that Bayley and Sasha Banks continue to support one another, even though they're now in different wrestling companies. Despite Sasha stepping into the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Elite Wrestling, Bayley holding it down in WWE, the bond they share clearly transcends any kind of corporate rivalry. Whether it's showing up to support each other at events or just cheering one another on through social media, it's a reminder that real friendship in wrestling isn't just a storyline, it's the real deal. And because they're smart, when they are at each other's shows, they stay off camera. Why? Well, one of the reasons may be because in March of 2008, Robbie Mallister, then one half of WWE's tag team, the Highlanders, decided to attend a TNA Impact taping while in Orlando for WrestleMania festivities. What could possibly go wrong? Spoiler, everything. As fate and questionable judgment would have it, TNA...
That's so annoying. That's so annoying. They really said, ain't recognized, bro. That's crazy. Y'all better hire me after the bullshit. Like, yo, I literally lost my job because y'all were hyped to have me there. I would have definitely played it off like I have a doppelganger, honestly. It's an issue that I've been dealing with for the past, like, I don't know, 18 years. That wasn't me. I was here the whole time, the entire time. I don't even have a shirt like that. I don't even like collared shirts, to be honest.
Cameras captured his presence and did him dirty by airing his image on television.
They really were
identifying
hyped.
him by his real name to
What is actual government babe? I'm not trying to hide his face like, bro, I'm just here to wrestle, bro. Not to wrestle, I'm here to watch. You see, you fucked up. You didn't put the shades down. Someone backstage was a dingling and really made a graphic. Like, why would you make a graphic? That. I'm getting mad for them.
Avoid WWE's wrath. Unsurprisingly, WWE management was not amused. Robbie later admitted that attending the show wasn't his brightest move, calling it probably the dumbest thing I've ever done, which might be putting it lightly. Apparently, he was feeling down about his career trajectory, something about getting pinned by Hornswoggle tends to do to a person. Still, as regrettable as it was, this little wrestling field trip ended up costing him big time. WWE officials allegedly called him mid-show, told him to leave the arena, and to really hammer home the point, they docked him $5,000, which was his WrestleMania paycheck. Ouch. Wow. You'd think having to watch a TNA show would be punishment enough. I keyed. After that, Robbie's WWE career pretty much hit the skids. He stuck around for a while, but mostly worked dark matches. Eventually, he got the boot entirely. Well, there's our list. Did I leave out any other decisions that wrecked wrestlers' careers? If so, please leave them in the comments section.
That is insane, man. They did him greasy. Always love some wrestling's videos. If you guys like to support Give Original Uploads content, click that top link in the description. Please do it. We appreciate it. If you want to hang out with us live on Twitch, click the bottom link. I'll see you in the very next video. Unless you're weird. Thank you so much to those of you that have made it over to the Patreon. I appreciate you.
I'm still hungry.